I'm Juliana Keeping. I'm a reporter with the Oklahoman newspaper, and I'm here tonight at Pechakucha in Oklahoma City, and I'm here with an organizer, Brittany Matlock at Plenty Mercantile in downtown OKC. Brittany, tell us about this event. What is Pechakucha? What does it mean? Why am I here? Why are we all here?
Awesome. Well, Pechakucha started in Japan. It actually means chit-chat in Japanese, and was established in 2003 and has spread to over 800 cities, including Oklahoma City last year. This is our fourth in the series, and we typically have about 5 speakers. I actually spoke at the first one, and then just kind of, I was hooked. And so now I'm part of the organizing crew, and it just gets good people together, and we want people to talk about what sets them on fire and say it in 20 seconds per slide and on 20 slides, and it's a quick, easy, efficient, fun way to figure out what's going on in our city.
Awesome, and I'm one of the speakers. We're actually about to get going. I'm a little nervous. The format is really concise. I had to strip away a lot of words, which is good because I ramble, so I gotta go because I gotta get started. But thanks, Brittany, and I'm excited to be here. Hi, my name is Juliana Keeping. I am a reporter for the Oklahoman, like Tyler said, but I am also a mom and a blogger, and I'm here to introduce you to my son, Elijah. He's 2 years old. He likes choo-choos, hamburgers, being a bruiser, and he has a disease. It's called cystic fibrosis. I'm going to speak about an issue that pertains to his disease community, but also to anyone suffering from illness. And that is the extraordinary high price of life-saving rare disease drugs, okay? So Francis Collins, he's the head of the National Institutes of Health, and he said, drugs that are life-saving ought to be affordable. It's true. Everything I'm going to tell you is based on that philosophy. Those are my kids. Cystic fibrosis is it's a disease that's rare, genetic, and deadly. And the crux of it is my son's lungs draw infection. Over time, he will lose the ability to breathe as medicine stands now. So we don't like that, and we're going to solve it. As you can imagine, learning this, I sought out other people who'd been through the same thing, learning their child had a terminal illness. And I found a woman named Pam. She told me I was going to be stronger than I ever knew I could be for my son. And she told me, you're going to learn real fast how to be a bitch. I'm like, but I already am a bitch. So what do you mean by that, Pam? Well, I found out really fast in the hospital. Hospital, you know, I needle people for a living. I'm a journalist, right? So I'm already kind of a bitch, but in the hospital, I was like out of my element. But I learned to ask, why not? What's the plan? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? What else can we be done, you know? So yeah, I was a real bitch in the hospital. Anyway, Pam also told me, that I was going to fight with insurance companies, and this disease is an expensive pain in the ass. So she was right. Really soon after my son was born, when he was 1 year old, he was denied a medication designed by AstraZeneca, this blockbuster drug called Synagis, and guess what? My insurance company wouldn't pay for it. Before I get into my spiel, I wanted to give you a little history about how far this disease has come. This is a book by Frank DeFord called Alex, Life of a Child, and the first 5 words give you the idea. Alex barely lived 8 years. She lived a beautiful life, but it was short and tragic. Parents of cystic fibrosis children, they don't like that. They got together. They're like, screw this. We're going to find a cure for this disease. We know it's not a moneymaker. They formed the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, and decades they fundraised. They created all these treatments by investing in private drug companies, funneling all their charity dollars. And now, in 1975, median age of life was 14, and now it's 42. This is my son, Eli. He's doing all his treatments because of the efforts of the parents who cared so much to fund them and find them out. And he's doing his best. He's pissed off. He's 2. He doesn't like it, but he's going to keep him alive. So sorry, buddy, you got to do it. Breathing treatments, enzymes, vitamins. He's on an antibiotic. You get the idea. So 2012, a company called Vertex, the recipient of all these millions of dollars of charity money, comes out with a drug called Kalydeco. Okay, this is groundbreaking for medicine. No drug has ever done what Kalydeco does, okay? It changes the way our cells function at the very basic level. It actually treats the cure of the disease, but guess what? It costs more than $300,000 a year, and that's a bunch of BS. So anyway,
Okay, my point is, somehow these organizations, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation and its partners like Vertex, they're full of people with these big hearts and brilliant minds, yet at the end of this process, they're pricing these drugs for what the market will bear, and that's wrong, okay? You may not have a chronic disease or know someone with a chronic disease, and I will say, if that's the case, you're super lucky, but you're paying for this. You're paying for these high drug costs, all right? If you're a taxpayer, you're paying for it through cash-strapped Medicaid programs. If you're an insurance payer, you're also paying for it. As your premiums rise, your deductibles go up. That's because the price of drugs, among other things. Okay, this guy, he's like the most hated dude since that dentist killed Cecil the Lion. His name is Martin Shkreli, and he's a hedge funder turned CEO of a pharmaceutical company. So he decides to buy this drug called Daraprim and then jack up the price like 5,000% overnight. It's a 62-year-old drug that helps infants, AIDS patients, and cancer patients. Great. So anyway, my point is, drugs should not be priced for frickin' millionaires, all right? That's wrong. It's wrong. My son's life is not a Wall Street plaything. This is an outrage, and it needs to end now. There are two price ranges, okay? You remember the drug called Kalydeco. This is the groundbreaking drug they created in 2012, or that was approved. That's the price range. Below, this drug does not help my son with his genetic variation of the disease. This is the price range for the drug that could. It bumps lung function by like 3%, which is a really big deal. Problem is, the drug's called Orkambi, okay? Here are some stories from the ground, which you'd never really hear, okay, in the media. So there's a set of twins in Boston, and they're adults. One of them is paying $30 copay for his Orkambi. The other is paying $500 a month in copay. I don't know about you, but I don't know a lot of people who could weather a $500 a month payment. I mean, I am a writer, and I like run with that crowd, but you know what I'm talking about. So the other problem with this is children in developing countries with small budgets are not getting these drugs. And I, as a person who fundraises for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, I'm appalled by this. These are little kids dying from a chronic lung illness. They're not getting the drugs because they're too expensive. Investors like to say, yo, we took a huge risk, okay? So we deserve huge returns. Guess what? Other people take huge risks for the benefit of society, like firefighters, police officers, EMT workers, okay? Lifeguards, and they receive a modest return. Apparently, society is okay with this, but when it comes to drugs, it's just totally out of whack. So kind of like, it's a weird relationship I have with this company and the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation because they're like my BFFs. I love them. Without them, my son would be dead in just a few years. But like a brother or a sister just like nudging that sibling that gets out of line, I'm like, bring it back to reality. This is wrong. Like I said, drugs that are life-saving ought to be affordable. So that's my presentation. I'm talking like the guy from Micro Machines because I had so much to say. But if you're into, doing something about this, it's really confusing. What can we do? Go to my blog. It's called HiThisIsEli.com. I've got a petition up, and it asks the CEO of Vertex, his name is Jeff Layden, and I ask him to stop price gouging charity-funded rare disease drugs. It's a bunch of BS, and it needs to stop now. Thanks.